Devblog number 48. Philippe, lead programmer. This month I focused on refining the Rex's crush ability and the new throw it has, which is linked to crush but not exclusive to it. The grapple ability is still receiving some updates, which now is mainly for balance as the grapple values need to align with the entire roster, but we have massively different animal weights. We added a new open corpse ability with new animations, included in the current Hordatist. This ability is triggered by tapping E 3 times near a corpse to access the organs, replacing the previously unreliable method of biting a corpse open. The skin creator has received some visual improvements, including a hide UI button and some resolution fixes. Chat has also received a minor UI update. Additionally, we finalized the mass migration code, updated mutations and made improvements to vocals. As always, there were the usual bug fixes and small enhancements to server performance. Emma Uruk, programmer. Over the last month, I have been focused on enhancing our backend systems for better scaling and testing to improve our workflows. Our official servers are also now more evenly distributed across each region. Additionally, I have implemented numerous quality of life improvements to the UI, recon, and AI systems. Notably, new recon commands have been added, which will be added to README configs coming during horde testing. These commands allow for real-time modification of the server configuration and include the following: whitelist enable, disable, add, remove whitelist IDs, toggling AI on, off, setting disallowed AI classes, setting the AI density, toggling global chat on, off, toggling humans on, off. We are currently testing Psittacosaurus AI along with a new ability for all carnivores to dig at burrows. Exciting changes are also on the horizon for how players detect animal AI. While I won't reveal too much just yet, it's been noted that AI can be difficult to find even when abundant. They're simply hard to see or notice. The upcoming changes aim to make detecting them much easier, though catching them will still pose a challenge. I made a small change to the pre-lobby character display in the server browser to reduce confusion. Now, it displays the character status. This indicates the last known state of your playable character. If unknown, it may have died while you were logged off. Safe logging will prevent this uncertainty. I have also been working on the Horde testing patch, preparing it along with some hotfixes from our last release. I'll leave it at that for now and hope you enjoy the new updates, especially the Diabloceratops. Ariel, programmer. Much of the month was spent preparing for the Hordatist. This includes bug fixes, polishing, double-checking everything. Unfortunately, sparring didn't make it into the first release. There's still some adjustments we want to make. I also ended up having to rework how some of the movement speeds are set up related to fractures. Previously, they consistently related to the standard speeds, but we wanted to give the Gallimimus a new, faster trot, while keeping the existing fractured speeds. This required several background changes, but it should now give us more flexibility in the future. I also worked on some features that will be coming out a bit later, such as the Carnotaurus updates. Visual Tech 48, environmental artist. Things have not been idle at all this month. I've finally created some new cool kits, first of which is the scaffolding kit. Featuring a lot of parts and quick connections, it's quite simple yet can make any part as a construction site for a future building. Alongside that, I've simulated the tarps for the kit and textured them semi-modular, meaning we can put various colors and shapes based on desire. There are new habitation enclosures which will be featured soon in the game that also have part of their kit extended to other areas of the island. They will have several types of entries, including your standard human access points of doors and a large bulkhead that will connect to the guts. The shapes and the fence itself has gotten to a steady point, and you can already see where some locations will be able to connect into others. Wedge, sound designer. A majority of this month has been focused on our investigation into the audio-related fatal error. I have worked on multiple leads that could have contributed but unfortunately did not result in the fix we were looking for, although this has led to some improvements in memory usage of audio and improvements across some other minor issues. We have 2 more solutions we will be looking into over the course of the Horde test to narrow down the cause of this crash. I have also put a lot more time into Tyrannosaurus vocal sounds, mostly on its calls and attacks, as well as concepting some classified sounds to establish its vocal palette when not performing the quintessential roars and screams. With the Tyrannosaurus being so iconic as more of its vocal palette is created, sounds are likely to be iterated on to make sure its entire set of vocal sounds are cohesive yet diverse and really selling the terrifying characteristic we want it to portray. I also designed new vocal sounds for Stegosaurus power swing mechanic, including a threatening roar display that plays on entering the stance initially. The roar includes slightly higher groans and raspier roars, emphasizing the strain put into vocalizing this threatening sound. This differentiates it from the warning of the threatened call, that this is a promise for its opponent it will not end well for them if they come near. In addition, there are vocal sounds for the stationary swing, moving power swing, and a short vocal sound that plays on exiting the stance. These cues help not only to give weight and might to the attack but help audibly telegraph this creature's actions during this mechanic, and display its most aggressive demeanor. A new sound for the whip of its tail has been added, replacing the half-hearted sound that existed previously. During the moving attack, this sound is lower in pitch and has more low frequencies to convey the mass being put into this heavy attack, whereas the stationary swing has a snappier whip-like quality to it. Finally, I also worked on some smaller additions and bug fixes, adding sounds to the new open body animations and tweaking Diablo's audio and fixing any bugs for the Horde test. Brian, animator. Been working on this sparring stuff, a whole lot of new animations to fill in sparring actions and of course revisions to make the existing animations really pop now that we're able to get in the game and really start knocking heads together. Like, what if I ran up behind you and shoved you off a cliff? Kind of stuff. We know some of you are going to be doing that stuff, don't pretend we don't know. You know who you are. On top of that, Maya has a new suite of locomotion animations, both for bipedal and quadrupedal movement. I'm sure there's a few veteran islanders out there who remember a certain large hadrosaur who had a similar ability to toggle between locomotion styles. But with those out of the way, I've been working on the Tyrannosaur animations again. I mean, what does happen when you bite a ceratopsian in the face anyway? Hypno, QA lead. With the first pass of the mutations entering Horde testing, I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you all to leave as much feedback as possible on the system. Which aspects of it do you like and which do you dislike? Now is the best time to get your thoughts down for us, as I'll be frequenting the feedback channels in Discord throughout the course of this Horde test. That all being said, we are still far from finished with this system. We have plans to introduce additional mutations, including some that weren't quite ready for this pass that are almost complete. On top of this, there are plans to introduce species-specific mutations. One of my favorite ideas so far is an enhanced Hypsilophodon spit attack that causes different effects to happen to your target based on the type of food you had eaten recently. Nesting will also be taking full advantage of the mutation system. Your offspring will take on your mutations in some capacity and there will be selectable mutations that benefit parenting. The finer details of this requires further discussion before I can give any more details on that. On another note, I hope you guys are enjoying the Diabloceratops as much as I have been. There are some adjustments still yet to be made to get it feeling even better, but it sure is good to have another species in your hands. As Ariel stated, sparring still has a bit of work to go as it is a complex system that will also involve other species that can interact with it. Here's another strange issue that started happening with it in QA testing. Thankfully, this is fixed already, so we're yet another step closer to introducing its special ability before releasing the update to the evrima branch. Finally, I have seen a few people asking where the Stegosaurus AI is. Unfortunately, this little guy has been causing even further issues for us in QA, resulting in crashes when it is approached. It was decided that it would be taken out for the first release to Hortatist but is still very much planned to be in the final release of this update. Kiss and Kitten, producer. The rest of the team has primarily covered the broad strokes of what we've been up to this month. There's going to be new stuff showing up seemingly randomly almost everywhere. From new locations to animations, polishing of movements, mechanic adjustments, night vision changes etc. There are open body animations in Horde testing that replace the temp bites that were previously used as a band-aid for the feature, and the Gallimimus and Stegosaurus have new content as well as the addition of Diabloceratops. Content subject to change as always. Grapple hasn't quite made it into the Hortatist just yet, but I think it will be on its way soon. When it gets into your hands, gather an Omniraptor pack and start punching up. The feature aims to ensure size and strength alone do not make an animal impervious to a persistent and coordinated pack effort. Stegosaurus and Diabloceratops are formidable opponents but will have reason to fear barks in the distance. Bring it down. The Maiasaura is coming along nicely and is almost animation complete pending some fixes and adjustments. It should enter the roster rather smoothly comparative to others of the past. The entire animation team has gained most of the knowledge they need from myself and Brian to be able to tackle anything I throw at them, which allows us to have a laser focus on specific species. We were juggling about 5 animals at once to make sure everyone could get some hands-on experience with different body types, style of animation, characterization etc., and by golly I think they've got it. Once we're done with the Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops sparring, the animation team will really break into our stride. We've already been cooking up some stuff I think you'll enjoy. Buuya, I can't share yet. Typical, right? That's pretty much it this month. The first iteration of sparring should also be on its way pending some adjustments before and after reaching you, but until then, hop onto the Hortatist and toss some feedback our way. Be kind even when you're killing and eating each other.